Most people don't struggle with money because they don't know what to do. They struggle with money because money doesn't respond to motivation. It responds to principles. And it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're me, yourself, Elon Musk, the principle remains the same. You can want it bad, you can work hard, but you can still stay broke if you violate simple rules. And today I'm going to show you how the boring principles that actually work. If money responded to urgency, everyone would be wealthy right now. But money doesn't care how bad you want it. It simply follows rules. And if you don't know what they are, and if you don't do them, you'll start struggling. But if you do them and apply them, then you'll see real breakthrough. That's why I called this video, No Money, No Problem. Or really, how to get rich with a low income. Because you actually need money if you want to build wealth. Most people don't struggle with money because they don't know if they really want to build wealth. I want to be clear about this video and what it isn't. This isn't a video about getting rich fast. There's no hacks, no shortcuts, no overnight success stories. Because real wealth doesn't come from speed. It comes from order, from principles, from rules, from disciplines. Most people bounce from strategy to strategy looking for one thing that will finally fix their money problems. But money doesn't reward intensity. It rewards consistency. So instead of tactics, I'm going to walk you through a few timeless principles today. The same ones that quietly work whether you're earning a lot of money or you're earning not a lot at all. These are the principles that help me grow from survival, just barely getting by, fixed income, to stability, momentum, and long-term wealth. They're boring, they're slow, but they work. And if you understand these, if you put these into practice, you'll stop restarting your money journey every single day, every single year, every single month, and start building something that compounds over time. So let's get into it. Are you ready? It's going to be simple. Number 1, spend less than you make. All right? Simple principle. If you earn $5,000 a month, don't spend $6,000. If you earn $500 a month, don't spend $600. It's simple. The first principle is so simple, but people mess it up. They want to spend more than they actually make. They want to drive nice cars and they want to wear fancy clothes and they want to show off to people that they don't know, that they've never met, how great they're doing. But really, they're broke. Spend less than you make. Not someday, not when you earn more. Now, today, start today. Because wealth doesn't start with your income. It starts with margin. Margin is what's left over, the gap between what you spend and what you're earning. And without a gap, without a margin, nothing else works. You can't save, you can't invest, you can't compound, you're just recycling stress. And the mistake most people make is they spend less. They think spending less than they make is depriving them of something, feeling less than. It's not. It's actually about control. And every dollar has a job. If you don't control your money controls you. The margin is what gives you breathing room. It's a difference between reacting and deciding. And this is why making some more money doesn't automatically fix things. If your expenses rises at the same speed as your income, or usually greater, you haven't improved your situation. You just increased your purchasing. You've increased the pressure. People have that lifestyle creep, which means when they earn more money, they think, well, I deserve this new car. I deserve to go on this holiday. I deserve to eat out 3 times a week at a fancy restaurant. No, you need to keep your lifestyle the same. Now, this principle works not because it's exciting, but because it creates the conditions for everything else to work. No margin, no momentum. Okay. Number 2. Are you ready for this? Number 2. Compound. compound rewards over time. Intensity doesn't. This is where most people get discouraged because compounding feels invisible at the start. Compounding interest doesn't change your life quickly. It changes your life inevitably. And that's the problem. We're trained to look at results immediately. How do I feel? How does this change my immediate situation? But compounding works in results you can't see. You can't see the immediate output. At the beginning, progress looks flat. It almost looks non-existent, boring, almost pointless, which is why most people quit. But compounding isn't about big moves. It's about small, consistent actions done over a long time. And here's the misunderstanding. People think compounding is a math advantage. It's not. It's behavior advantage. Anyone can understand the formula. Few people can tolerate the delay. Compounding only works for people who stop checking it every 5 minutes. At first, it feels like the enemy. Later, time becomes the asset. That's why patience isn't a personal trait, it's a strategy. Once margin exists, consistency begins. You've gone past the invisible line. From effort to momentum, you're actually starting to make progress. Okay, number 3. Nothing compounds can I rub that out? On your time frame. How often do we want something immediately? I invested yesterday. Why haven't I invested $100 today? Why haven't I got $1 million tomorrow? It takes time. It doesn't happen on our time frame. Let me make this real. My first investment property doubled in value. Sounds impressive, right? Woohoo! It doubled in value. However, it took approximately 14 years. I saved up, purchased an asset that I wanted that I believe was going to make me money. I put in time saving the deposit. I purchased the asset. I spent money on an asset, an income producing asset, although I thought it was going to be an income producing asset. I spent thousands of dollars, put down a deposit, made the transaction, organized all the things, bought the property, etc., etc., etc. First year's flat, nothing. Second year, flat, nothing. Third year, oh look, it's gone up in value $10,000. Whoop-de-doo. Because by the time you sell it, you're not going to make, it's going to cost you more than $10,000 to sell it. So it's not a real gain. 5 years later, oh, it's gone up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Woohoo! But again, it's going to cost you money to sell it. You've got to pay capital gains tax. You've got to pay the real estate fees. You've got to pay stamp duty if you want to buy again. All these things cost money. And then 14 years later, overnight success, the property's done, it's doubled in value. It's not viral momentum. It's not an overnight win, not dramatic turning points, just time. Not quitting, not going, this isn't working. Putting in the hard work, doing the hard yet, purchasing it, property manager, getting tenants, all the rest of it, day in, day out, week in, month in, month out, year in, year out, and oops, overnight success, it's doubled in value. And that's why most people don't understand. That property didn't double in value because I was just so smart. It doubled because I stayed put. I stuck to it. Most people didn't fail financially because they chose bad investments. They fail because they just leave the good ones too early. We live in a world that celebrates speed. We live in a world that celebrates speed, right? But wealth is a long-term game. It's the duration. Time in the market beats the market every day of the week. It's not because it's clever. It's because you're patient. Those 14 years taught me something. Money rewards commitment, not excitement. Once you accept that meaningful, then you can get momentum. You're not looking for an overnight success. You start building and being consistent, and it starts to compound. Okay. Number 4. Long-term investing is a character decision. Long-term investing isn't about markets. It's about maturity. Short-term thinking asks, how fast can this pay me? Long-term thinking says, what kind of person do I need to become to hold this asset, hold this property, hold this stock? That's the difference. Long-term investors don't win because they predict better. They win because they quit less. They stay in the market longer. They don't consistently move their money. They let it sit. They let it settle. They let it do its job. And this is why most people never experience real wealth. They keep interrupting the process. Every time you pull money out, it starts again. You reset. You start the clock. Investing works best when it's boring, slow, over time. You almost forget it's there. Not neglect, but trust. Trust the process. Trust the principle. Trust the time. Long-term investing is how ordinary people get extraordinary results, not by being aggressive, but by being consistent. So let's wrap this up. The principles are: spend less than you make, create a margin, compounding rewards patience. You've got to be patient. Nothing happens overnight, and invest for the long term. These aren't flashy shortcuts. They're not flash in the pan. They're not make money instantly overnight. They won't make you rich tomorrow, but they will make you rich in your lifetime if you follow them and be consistent. So here's what I want you to do next. Pick one of these principles today. Start living it. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a year, but for a lifetime. Wealth isn't built by luck or burst of effort. It's built by reliable, repeatable principles applied over time. Once you start, everything else becomes easy. Margin grows, compounding kicks in, momentum builds, and finally money starts to flow. So thanks so much for watching. Be consistent, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.